Welcome to Mod 2 for R2-D2. Today we're going to take out these little logic displays and we're going to replace them with real OLED displays. So we can take these out. Oops. Uh-oh. Let's build this. These lights have to go. We need some little dots going back and forth. Since this is not real size, we're gonna have to make it a little bit smaller and adjust. So I came up with a simple solution. A little display, this little guy. I came up with this idea, little screen, OLED screen. So I'm gonna plug it in and show you what it does. What it does. Right now, you'll see the camera's doing the, scan lines, but it does it perfectly. So we're going to use that, put that in there. There are two of these, and these are cheap too. Little advertisement for our buddy here. And it'll come down, then scroll out, and go back to little dots. Remember, the scan lines won't be there. So let's get rid of these little two LED windows here first. Turn this, got the head off. And you'll see just, what's it, 1, 2, 3 screws. That's it over there. And then we could take these lights too, if we wanted to, and add them to our little projectors that we installed in the previous video. Brighten them up too. We'll check that out in a little while, but let's get these removed and see how much space we have between here. Now I can 3D print a frame that goes right in here, and then put that in there. That's going to look really good. This will make it a lot easier now. You won't be needing this anymore. So this is just the little LED lights, which we're going to use in another video. But you put this cover back on here, like that. Take a piece of tape. I already 3D printed designed these guys. Let's just show you what they are. Little frames. Like this. One goes for the bottom. Since it's on a curve, I had to design two different ones to make it perfect. And there's a top one. And you put it in like this. Anyway, let's see what it looks like from the front. And you can see, if I can get this camera right. There we go. There's my hands in there. Now we're going to paint these frames silver, and then have the screen behind it, the OLED screen behind it, and that'll go blah, blah, blah. We're using our famous metallic silver paint. And I'm going to just grab one of these guys and just going to paint the frame. Nothing fancy. It's only what you can see from the outside. That's it. Let's start with our electronics. These are actually they're OLED displays, and these are all blue. The previous one I just showed you a couple minutes ago was had a yellow and a blue. These are much newer, and I'll leave a link in the description. And these are just all blue. You'll see in a second. But they need only 4 wires to power it. They have a positive, negative, 5 volts basically, and a data line and a clock line. But who cares about all that stuff? The Arduino takes care of all that. This is Arduino Nano. And plugs in. You'll see I have one over here. I'll just plug it in again. And I have it load up with our logo. And I have the logic going crazy there. Then I take our little display and I'll put it in there, and you can see how cool that looks. It won't have the scan lines like you're seeing on the camera right now. Okay, and then we're going to wire both of these up. So in other words, there's going to be another set of wires going here, so they go to 2 of them. This is going to go in here like this. Okay, and the wires will stick out the back. I'm going to just do this really quick. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. And we'll shove it in like this. So you'll plug in the power through here. Okay, and then these go right into the R2 unit. That's it, and it just takes 5 volts. That's it for electronics, and now let's get into putting all this together. Okay, we're going to connect red to red, black to black, blue to blue, green to green. That's it. That was fast. All right, let's plug it in. Make sure it works. Okay. There you go. Perfect. And the thing about it, since they're both using the exact same circuit, they're connected to the same wires, you notice they're randomly doing it. But what we're going to do is when we put them in there, we're going to rotate this. So now they totally look random, but one's upside down. So it'll look even better. To install this, just put it like this. Put a little hot glue on there in the corners, and that's it. That's all it is to install this in here. And I just painted the frame silver. I mean, if you wanted to take a rattle can and paint the whole thing, it's up to you. I just wanted to keep the colors consistent, as the acrylic silver is a little bit more silvery than the rattle can silver. Let's glue these into here. And remember, there's a skinny side and a long side, or thick side, thin side. Remember, the top goes toward the thin side of the frame. We'll put that in there so it looks. We just hold our finger in there and glue it. Let's get these glued in here. There you go. Frames are on. Let's go install them. Let's take this little port off. And just 2 screws on the inside. You'll see down over there where the wire is. Just took those 2 screws off from the inside. I put some alcohol in here to loosen the glue. I'm going to wiggle this guy out. It's coming out slowly, because the reason why we're taking him out is because he has 5 volts. And we don't use the Christmas lights. See that? Just got out of here. Got him out. There's some good voltage in him. And this, now I can paint this whole thing silver. I'll leave this blue here. Paint this silver. It'll look not prettier. Here's the little port. We took it out. This was the glue that was back in here, holding that little 3-prong. So we don't need this anymore. Guys, we're going to have to cut the Christmas lights because I need this adapter. It seems like it's proprietary to Home Depot. So if your eyes are sensitive, you know, we're going to have to just cut this off. We only need this piece anyway. So here's the Christmas lights. And like I said, we're just going to cut. We need this piece because it works perfect. Try to do the least amount of cutting, or rewiring rather. So let's cut this off. We'll leave a little bit in case we want to put the Christmas lights back on. So let's do it. Okay. Goodbye, Christmas lights. No, it's all right. We're just going to cut it. There we go. Now we're done with the Christmas lights, and we're only going to use 2 of them. Let's see. One's positive, negative. The other one's a data one. That this actually changes when you press the button on the back. It changes it from Christmas to Halloween. So we don't need this one. We just need these 2. As you saw before, I cut the Christmas lights, and I took the extension that this is from the Christmas lights. There you go. Let's put our WAGO connectors on. One for red. Make sure it's on okay. And one for black. We're going to take a USB cable. Put this here. Let me hang this here. And this is just a female. Okay. Put it like that. And it has 2 wires on the end. Black and white. Pretty simple. So we're just going to put the red to red. These WAGOs make everything so easy. And probably should shrink that up, but we'll just get that in there for now. And then black to black. Okay, perfect. Now we have 5 volts coming in here, which we need for our circuit. Okay, we have everything glued in here. Little box, put a little zip tie over here just to hold it up top, nice and neat. And this will just be hanging down. Nothing won't interfere with anything because it's just hanging out. So let's take a look, see what it looks like on the outside. And ta-da! Ooh, look how cool that looks, dark. All right, let's do the final reveal. Before and after.